So there's an article came out recently. The current F-35 configuration complicates fielding of the APG-85 radar. So the biggest thing is the radar mountings in the nose of the Lockheed Martin F-35 are different for the current APG-81 and the future APG-85, which means, we'll sum it up, a dual mount would take 2 years to field. So the problem, though, is that they have a delay with the APG-85 and creating it with the different lots. But if you scroll down, Doug, they're actually they're working on, let's see, where is it? All right, there it is. Scroll up right there. Right there, stop. F-35 deliveries to U.S. units in the field since last June have had the APG-85 mountings, which do not fit the APG-81. But the radarless F-35 deliveries have not affected sales to foreign partner nations, which have the APG-81 in their jets. So basically, the 85 has had issues. They're on the 81 mounts, so they're just flying radarless as long as they've been accompanied by other F-35s data linked with the APG-81. But they're saying that eventually they'll help defeat the current projected adversarial errands and threats. Gonky, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, dude, we just like bagging on the F-35. So, I mean, it's just another example of the headwinds that are associated with that airplane. It's kind of sad. It's not the first time something like this has happened. I remember reading about the tornado when that thing first came online. The radar was super advanced, and it just wasn't ready. So you have to put something in the nose for the center of gravity. So they put like cement up there or something, or sandbags or whatever. So, I mean, they'll fix the problem. I was trying to find it in the article, but there was some crazy, like you mentioned, it's going to take them 2 years to build a mount that will
dual mount
the radars, which is good, just in case you ever have to downgrade due to parts availability or whatever. But somewhere in the article it mentioned the amount of time that it takes to like test the APG-85. Like they're just trying to get they're trying to compress the timeline, because the timeline is, I don't know, in my mind it's out of control, man. I mean, the airplane itself is years late, and you would just think that from all the bad press, like stuff like this wouldn't happen, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. At the end of the day, it's sad for the taxpayer, and it's sad for the fighting men and women. I mean, that being said, the F-35 is amazing airplane, right? We've seen what it can do. Other countries are doing amazing things with it. I'm not saying it's a bad airplane, but gosh, it could have been so much better, I think, with a more focused vision of what F-35 should have been. And if the Marines didn't want it to be a helicopter, that would have helped a lot. Thanks, Marines. And
I've been corrected on that. It's not just the Marines, it's the Brits, the Italians, and the Japanese that all wanted it on their small carriers.
Yeah, well, in that case, go out and buy, I don't know. So they just keep building Harriers. I mean, it's a terrible idea anyways, right? So,
I mean, yeah, in that case, it should have been a clean sheet, its own design. Like, we didn't need to make it jack of all trades.
Yeah. Hey, here's the piece. So like it says right here. So, the government's asking Grumman to reduce the test time for the APG-85. It increased from 3 days to 78 days, right? So, I mean, these are just like mini hurdles that I'm sure they're fighting. And each one, it seems like, is a showstopper for the program, because the F-35 being a nerd jet with all the tech stuff, like this radar is an integral part of the future.
Important.
Right? It's like one of the pieces of the future of F-35 and what it can do, which is going to be awesome. It's just frustrating that it's like, yeah, we got the radar, we got the jet. Nobody built them out. My bad.
It's not a discussion about whether the F-35 is good. The jet itself is great when it works, and when it's delivered on time, and when all the parts are there. The problem is it's a case study in contractor issues and program overruns and program delays and bureaucracy and testing until the point that we can't test. Like, dude, we would never have won World War II in today's world because we can't produce. We just can't. And we allow, nobody is poking people in the chest going, no, the contract says this, you shall, because they put in the contract, they write these things to be favorable to the contractor and not the government.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it said many times, F-35 is a jobs program. And I don't know, but you compare, we talk about China, J-36, the White Dragon, whatever, the Khan from Turkey. So like you look at other countries, and I get it, they probably don't have the same capability as the F-35, but you just look at how quickly they are able to develop new aircraft, and it's a bit of an eye opener, as somebody who's proud of their country, an American. Like I like to see this fixed because I don't see any reason why we can't be just as fast. Now, I don't think they should just throw stuff together, throw it out there just to have it out there. It needs to work. But again, I think when the Joint Strike Fighter, the name in and of itself, I think is destined to fail. I mean, you and I worked in the very building that all three services were supposed to come and train together and kumbaya and hold hands and, eat hot dogs and marshmallows. Dude, like colossal failure, right?
Yeah.
The only building on an Air Force base that's got the ship flagpole mast out there, right? It's like it's like you just, and the crazy thing, man, before, like I was a Hornet guy before F-35 was out. And like, even back then we're like, this is a terrible idea, but I digress. Go ahead.
No, you're 100% correct. And the F-35 should have been, the volume of the F-16, the volume of the Hornet. Like you should have had numbers, and we can't. And if you go talk at the operational level, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to fighter pilots, fighter squadrons, or whatever. Well, we'd love to, but we don't have. We're so far behind. The deliveries are so far behind. The schoolhouse is so far behind. They don't have the jets to do. Like, dude, that's a readiness problem. You have put all your eggs in this basket, and you don't have the jets, the numbers that you want, and it's delaying the pipeline to the point where the warfighter suffers.
It's a national security issue, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have to fix that. So I hope that they can, and they can figure it out, especially as we see so many other programs that are now 5 years ahead of schedule, 3 years ahead of schedule. I mean, the Department of War is starting to poke people in the chest and go, deliver what you promised. The gravy train's over.
Yeah, as they should. Like I said, man, the taxpayers deserve it. And, honestly, all the other countries, Canada, Japan, I mean, just everybody who invested in the F-35 dream, like, I mean, come on, Lockheed, do better. This is poor. Boeing probably won the F-47 contract because of the F-35. It's like, not again. Boeing can put out another largemouth bass version of a fighter. And we don't care. We'll take it. Right. I mean, I don't know.